Hello there, cloud enthusiasts. Your boy Warner back again with that real practical content. Today is lab day here at Cloud Optimized Labs. So we're going to do what we always do, zero fluff, straight to the point, giving you an opportunity to get some hands-on experience with managing Azure AD users and groups. A couple of the things you're going to be touching is Azure Active Directory, Azure AD users and groups, Azure roles, and a free trial of Azure AD Premium P2. A quick scenario on what this type of hands-on experience, how it might benefit you is, let's say you're a new employee as a cloud admin for a company. They've assigned you the responsibility of adding users, removing users, resetting password, managing users in their Azure Cloud Platform environment. So that's what this lab is going to kind of give you the tools to manage. Without any more ado, let's get right into this lab. Okay, here we are at our Azure portal. And the first step in our lab today is to create a couple Active Directory users. So what we want to do is go up here and in the search bar type in active and search for Azure Active Directory. Click on it. You're going to come over here to the left and you're going to go to users and take a look that you have a primary user because this is the main user for the account. So Azure Active Directory already has you in there. You're the account owner right here. See, it says Microsoft account. Now, if we go back and we can just click the red X, if we go over here to user settings, you'll see that we have the options of setting some user settings, app registrations, tenant creation, administration portal, LinkedIn account connections. This just some abilities that we can add to our user. So let's go ahead and create the first user. So we're going to go back over here to under manage and click on users. And we're going to say new user, create user. All right. Create user. His name is going to be your boy. And that's going to be at your account .onmicrosoft.com. You know how it looks, right? And your boy is going to be our first user. He's going to be an administrator. Let me create the password. Okay. We don't have any groups or anything or to put him in, but we could click this, go to groups, create a group and everything like that. But we're just going to continue with just creating our user here, right? So under usage location, we want to make sure we pick the area that we are in, the region. And so we're going to go down here and pick United States. That's what it is for us. Could be something else for you. Pick your region. Under job title, we're going to call him the Azure admin. And he works in the IT department for sure. And then press create. All right, we don't need to save anything there, so we can close this. And it says our user should be created, but we don't see him. We're gonna click refresh, and there he is. Well, it came and left. What? Okay, there you go. Your boy is now created, and this is his identity, right? We're gonna click on your boy, and we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna just put his user principal name on our clipboard for later, right? And we just gonna check him out here, right? Let's go over here to manage, and for under assign roles, if we went to the assign roles, we could see that there is no role there, right? So we got to give him a role, and we'll do that in just a minute. If we click on administrative units, you can see there's nothing, no groups, nothing, right? So let's go on and give him a role. We're gonna go click back on assign roles under manage, We're gonna add assignment. Click the plus sign, and we want to choose these out of these Microsoft pre-canned roles. We're gonna choose user administrator. So we're gonna say add. So this guy is your boy. He is our Azure administrator, and he has the role of, let's click refresh, of user administrator. So he can manage all aspects of users and groups, including resetting passwords. So he's the one who can create users in our Azure account. He's our Azure admin. And now what we want to do is test him out and see if he's there and see what he has. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up an incognito window. Okay, we got our incognito window up, and we want to go back to the Azure portal. So we're going to type portal.azure.com. And we have our user's principal name in our clipboard because we copied it. So we're going to paste it right here because we're going to log in that portal with our new user, your boy. Going to click next, and we're going to put that temporary password that we created for your boy. Hopefully that's it. And yes, it is. And now Microsoft says, okay, this is your first sign in. We need you to make a new password. So we'll put in the old one. And we got to come up with a new one. And sign in. All right. It says help us protect your account. We ain't gonna do that right now. We're gonna skip it for 14 days. Say no to stay signed in unless you want to stay signed in. But we want to get right into this portal. We don't need the tour. We'll say maybe later. So as you can see right up here, we are logged in as your boy. Okay. And so what we're gonna do is let's go back to the Active Directory. So let's type active in here and see if we can find it. Yes. Okay, so again, we logged in as your boy. This is our cloud Azure admin. And let's see what he can do. Let's go to user settings, and you see here he can't control none of the global settings for us. So all that's grayed out. Nothing you can do here, son. Let's go back up to users. And let's go to let's go to my own account. So I'm your boy. I want to go check out my account. Let's go see assigned role. Okay, I see that I've been assigned the user administrator role, but you know, I want more than that. This ain't enough. You know, I can click on it. It'll tell me what it is. I can close it right here. What if I want to make myself something else? If I go up here to the plus sign add, you can see it's grayed out. No dice, your boy. You ain't adding no roles to yourself. You hear me? What you have is manage all aspects of users and groups, including resetting passwords. That's what you have. So it's telling me that I can manage users and groups. So let's manage a user, right? We need another user, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can create him. So let's go back out. We can close this here, and we're gonna go back out to users, and I'm gonna say new user. Let me create me a new user, and his name is gonna be the boy, and it's gonna be at Cloud Optimized Labs Outlook on Microsoft. You know the deal. So we're gonna put the boy in here again. I'm gonna put in my temp. Password form. I'm going to make sure his usage location is the same. We are in America here, so let's do United States. And this guy is going to be not a cloud admin, but a sys, just a regular sysadmin on-prem, and his department is also IT. And let's see if we can create him. And yes, we were successfully able to create that user. One thing about Microsoft Portal, the thing takes forever to refresh, but that's actually not bad. It normally takes longer than that. So now we got Yell Boy, who is our Azure administrator, and we got Del Boy, who is our system administrator. And here are their identity files. And so if I clicked on Del Boy, I could see some properties about his account. And if I went over to assigned roles, you can see we don't have any roles assigned to him yet. And he can't assign any roles to himself there. So that's all it is to it, right? So now we go back to users. You can see that we've created 2 users. We created a main Azure admin, and then we signed in with that account and created a secondary systems admin with that account. And that's going to be it for creating and configuring users. Those same steps you can do to create all the users you need for your account. Okay, for the next task in the lab, we're going to be looking at groups. We're going to create some groups, and we're going to hook up permissions to them, and we're going to do it 2 ways. We're going to do assigned permissions where we manually go and assign it, and we're going to do dynamic permissions where the users get placed in a group based on some attribute we set. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's go ahead and close all the windows we have open, and we want to go back to our Active Directory. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to sign out as your boy because we can't do what we got to do with your boy's limited rights. So we're just going to sign out as him and go ahead and close that incognito window. And we're back in our window with our main account admin. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Active Directory, and we're going to close this window too. And we're just going to go into the main blade of Active Directory. Now, with the dynamic portion of the membership assignment steps, you cannot do it with the free tier level of Azure Active Directory. So we're going to go ahead and take advantage of a free trial of the next level up, which I believe is P2 Azure Active Directory, so that we can get these steps implemented and demonstrate how it's done. So what we're going to do is go over here to the left, and we're going to look around for licenses. So here's licenses right here. We're going to click on licenses. As you can see, there's nothing in particularly special you can see here because nothing has been done. But if we look over here where it says quick tasks and we click on get a free trial, some options will open up. So now we can activate the Azure AD Premium P2, Premium 2. With Azure Active Directory Premium P2, you can gain access to advanced security features, richer reports, and rule-based assignments to applications. Your end users will benefit from self-capabilities and customized branding. So what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and click on the down arrow for free trial. It's going to give us some information about the free trial, tell us we'll get 100 license and so on. And let's go ahead and activate this free trial. So I'm going to click activate. We got a successfully activated notification. So let's do a couple refreshes on here and see what we get. Okay, if we go back over here and click on all products, you can see right here we have Azure Active Directory Premium P2, a total of 100 licenses, and they are available. My licenses are available. If I click on here, it'll say license the users, and as of now we don't have any licensed users. All right, so now we're going to assign our users, the 2 we created in ourselves, a license here. So we're going to click on assign, And we're going to say add users and groups. And as you can see, we got 3 items, ya boy, da boy, in our main account. And we're going to say select. And now let's go ahead and look at assignment options. We can do fine grained tuning of which license we want to give individual places. We're going to leave the defaults and keep on going to review and assign. 3 users, Active Directory Premium P2, 4 out of 4 enabled, assign. Licenses assigned, you have assigned to 3 users. We can close that. Let's click refresh. And of course, you got to click it a few times because, I mean, if you didn't, it wouldn't be right, would it? All right, and after seconds and seconds, as you can see here, we have Active Directory Premium P2 licensed users, and we've got our users here. So that's exactly what we want to see. We're going to keep on moving along. Now that we've activated our license, we can set dynamic group permissions. Now we can go over to groups and start playing around with that. So what we're going to do is let's go to the home. Let's click on Active Directory. And in the left-hand column, we're going to click on groups. And up here, we're going to click on new group. So we're going to create a new group. The type is going to be security. We're going to name this group Azure Administrators. Azure Admin. Group description is going to be CO Cloud Admin. Azure AD roles can be assigned to this group. We don't need to do that, but you can do it, so that's cool. Membership type is going to be dynamic user. So we're going to make this dynamic user membership type. No owner selected. We're going to do add a dynamic query. The property is going to be job title. Property is going to be job title. The operator is going to be equals, and the value is going to be Azure Admin, right? So we're going to click on Add Expression, and then we're going to click on Save. Then we're going to click on Create. And it is creating group. Group is successfully created. We're going to do a refresh, and there you go, Azure Admins. We're going to do new group. It's going to be a security group again. This is going to be sysadmins. Sysadmins. Group description is going to be sysadmin. We're going to do dynamic device. Dynamic user. And we're going to add a dynamic query. In the property, we're going to say, again, job title. Operator is going to be equals. And the value is going to be sysadmin, right? And we're going to say add expression. And we're going to say save and create. Successfully created group. We'll close that, hit a refresh. Couple of refreshes, and there it is. We just created these 2 groups. Both of them have dynamic membership assignments. So they're going to assign employees dynamically based on their job title. Now we're going to go ahead and create one more group. This will be new group. It's going to be a security group. Once again, on here, these are going to be lab admins. And it's going to be CO lab admin. And Azure roles groups we're not going to bother with, and this is going to be a assigned membership type, assigned, and then we're going to click no members selected. And who do we want to assign to this? We're going to put the we're going to put Azure admin and it was sys admins. So we put Azure admins and sys admins in this group, and we're going to assign them manually to it, and it's called lab admins. And we're going to press select, and we're going to say create. All right, now that that is done, let's just go do some verification of our work. So let's close out of that. Let's go back to Active Directory. Let's click on groups, and we got a couple of groups. And those groups that were to have dynamic assignments, if you remember, we didn't put any people in them. Let's see if the dynamic assignment is working. So the Azure admin should be the cloud admin, folks. So let's click Azure admin. And there is one user inside, as you can see. Now let's go over here to members, and it's your boy. If we click on him, we can see that your boy is an Azure admin. So that is correct. We're gonna back up out of there in the groups, and he's in the Azure admin. Now let's go look at sysadmin. Sysadmin, let's look at the members of that one, and it's the boy. The boy is in that group, sysadmins. If we click on the boy, we can scroll down and see that the boy is a sysadmin from his job title, so he is definitely in the right group, the sysadmins group. Now we can go back, and if we go to lab admins, you can see that there are two groups that are direct members. If we click on members, we'll see that the Azure admins and the sysadmins are in there. So now we have created groups and verified that our users whom we created were actually automatically assigned to the appropriate group, but then we manually assigned those groups to another group. All right, so now the third step in this lab is to go take a look at Active Directory tenants. So let's go ahead and close our windows here, and we want to go back to the Active Directory blade. And if we look across the top here, next on the cog, next to the cog, we can click it, and we will see our Active Directory tenants. Now, as you can see here, I've got the default directory tenant that is automatically created when your account is created. And I've got a lab tenant that I subsequently created after the account was created. We're going to create a brand new Active Directory tenant, and that's why we're here. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to go up here at the top next to the plus sign and click create. This is going to be an Azure Active Directory tenant type, not the B2C. We're going to click on next configuration, and we're going to name this some organization name that we want to have it. So this will be, how about the OC Lab? Okay, and then we're going to do, the domain is going to be the OC Lab .omnicron, Microsoft, so on and so forth. You know how I go. All right, and we're going to make sure the location say United States, and then we're going to go next. All right, validation pass, we can review and create, and we're going to create. We got to put our captions in there and hope that don't jam us up. Submit. Tenant creation in progress. This will take a few minutes. So I'm gonna assume it worked. We'll just leave this right here for now and see what they show us. And we can start us a little stopwatch to see how long it takes. Knowing that Microsoft's refresh game is not the best, it may not just I might refresh page before I find out. Oh, there it is. Did you see it just changed? Took about 30 seconds. Tenant creation was successful. Click here to navigate to your new tenant, the OC Lab. Click. All right, and Active Directory switched us into the OC Lab, and we are here now. We went right here to directories icon and clicked it. We can see that we have the OC Lab, the default directory, and my tenant, and we can switch in between them. So default directory here, I can switch back to it. This is the one we were in originally. And then if I want to go to my OC Lab directory, I would just go here and click switch again. And now I'm back in the OC Lab directory. We have our default user, of course, right there, who is a member. All right, so, and that is the end of step 3 of this lab. The next step is step 4, and that is to authorize a guest account, manage some guest users for Active Directory. So that is what we will begin to do now. Okay, so now we're gonna go up here. We are still in our OC Lab organization. So we're gonna add a user. So we're gonna go click on create new user. And this user's name is going to be Hubboy at the OC Lab. You get the gist, right? Hubboy. I'm going to create a temporary password for Hubboy. I could go ahead and select some groups and role stuff right from here while I'm creating this user, but nope, we're gonna go through the steps one by one. I'm gonna find the usage location to be our usage location, which is, where are you? United States. Job title, he's gonna be a sysadmin as well. And that's also in the IT department. Take another quick look. Looks good. Let's create this user. Close. Couple of refreshes. There it. That is crazy how that does that. Hubboy. We're gonna click on Hubboy. We're gonna take that principal for our clipboard, and we're just gonna scroll down a little bit, take a look at some monitor, look at some properties. All right, and then we're gonna get back up out of there. Now, let's go back to directories, click the button, and we're gonna switch back to our default directory. Switch. All right, we're gonna go over here in the left to users. And we're gonna say new user. And we're gonna invite an external user. So we wanna invite Hubboy over here to join the fun with these guys in the sysadmin or in the cloud admin group, and to be able to do some stuff over here. So I'm gonna click invite, and this is invite user, and the user's name is Hubboy, and his email address we put in our clipboard here, so we're gonna paste that, and it's Hubboy at the oclab.omicron theta. Okay, and we're gonna make his usage location the old US of A. United States. Job title is definitely going to be sysadmin. And we're going to make them part of the IT department. All right, and we can click invite. Now, one thing, this piece is presuming that this is a good email. We know that it is not, because the user will receive an email that says you've been invited to a different Active Directory group. Follow these steps to join up. But since this is not a real email address, we won't receive that message. But you know what? Maybe if I just put an email address I can see in here, we would get to see what that looks like. But we're not going to bother. That's something you can try in your own lab. Put your own email in there, see if you get the message, and go through the steps. Right now, we're going to go ahead and click invite. As you can see, it says inviting user, successfully invited user Hubboy. And we're going to do a couple of refreshes and see if it shows up here. Let's give it a second. There it is right there. Hubboy is user type guest. There's his identity, and the creation type is invitation. So if we click on Hubboy, we can go through here and look at a little bit of stuff, right? And I can edit properties on Hubboy. If I needed to change some stuff, we're gonna press cancel. So now that we see we got Hubboy in there, we need to add him to the appropriate group. So we're gonna go to groups. We can add Hubboy to the group from here. Or we can just go back to Active Directory, go to groups. We'll see what group we want to add Hubboy to. Let's go to lab admin, and let's go to members, and we can add members, and then we'll say Hubboy, and we can just add that user account straight to the lab admins folder. Member successfully added. Refresh. There he is, Hubboy. User type guest. All right, so now let's get up out of here. Let's go back. Let's go back to Active Directory, the main blade. Let's look at our users. You can see we got 4 users in various states of creation types and user types. We can go to groups. We can see what our groups are, membership types, what type of group it is. And now that completes all the steps of this lab. And what we've been doing is managing Active Directory identities within the Azure portal. We had 4 steps, and those steps were to create and configure Active Directory users, create Azure AD groups, assign dynamic and assign permissions to them. We create an Active Directory tenant, and we invited a guest user to our tenant and added them to a group. And now it's time to do some cleanup. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to groups. We're going to select all the groups that we want to get rid of. In this case, we're going to get rid of all the groups we created, and we're just going to hit delete the selected group. Yes, that is exactly what we want to do. Groups successfully deleted is going to be 3. You can hit the refresh a couple times. You'll see they are gone, right? We're going to close this window, and we're going to go back to users. And now we want to get rid of some of these users. So all the users that we created, don't get rid of your main account user. Not sure that you'll be able to anyway, but the new users we created, let's get rid of those guys. And so we're going to highlight them, and we're going to go click delete. and we're going to say, okay, user successfully deleted. And so those guys, we'll click refresh a couple times and we'll see those guys disappear here when the portal catches up. And none of those things were going to incur any residual charges, users, groups. You're not being charged for users or groups. So you could have left them if you wanted to keep those, but I like to go back and clean up everything I built, and I'll just rebuild it later if I need it again. It makes for good practice. So that's how I do it. We did use a free trial for our Active Directory account. So let's go look at our tenants. So we are in the main blade of our default directory, and we're going to click on Manage Tenants. And as you can see here, we've got our default directory and the tenant we created today. And I'm going to go ahead and click on both of these, and I'm going to delete these as well, one at a time, because they won't let me delete them together. So we'll click the OC Lab and we're going to click delete. And we can see that we've deleted our other organizations. So all we have is the default, and that is it. We are done. We have cleaned up any deployed resources. Okay, there you have it, Cloud family. We had 5 tasks to complete in this lab. They were create and configure AD users, create AD groups and assign dynamic membership properties, create a new Azure Active Directory tenant, invite a Azure AD guest to that tenant, and 5 was to do some cleanup, and which we did. So if you enjoyed this content and you got something out of it, do us a favor and click that like button, and you can share this content in your groups and forums or with anybody who you think might benefit from the hands-on experience. If you're not a member of the channel already, no time like the present, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be notified when new videos are released, go ahead and hit that bell icon. And until the next lab, family, peace.